spit my gum out before I do this. I just got out of Oculus, and I'm flying solo tonight because Oculus was playing later than Draft Day, which is the other movie. Obviously, it's a video right down there. Draft Day started at like 8, so I showed up here around 7:30, 8 o'clock, so I could get Irving and Jake their tickets and shoot the shit with them for a while, and then I just went out and like killed 2 hours before Oculus started. Usually, when something's a little later on in the night, sometimes it's a little harder to get someone to go along with it. If it's something they're not really interested in seeing, because a lot of the other folks on the site have to get up early the next day on Friday. So yeah, I was by myself, and the Rio 2 didn't have a pre-screening. We'll be seeing that later in the week. And the Raid 2 opens in Springfield, but it didn't get a pre-screening, so we'll be seeing that. We'll be seeing that tomorrow. We'll be going to see the Raid 2 tomorrow night. Fuck yeah. Oculus, the most I really knew about this movie going into it was naming Dave's character in demo reel Sid Oculus. I think when I was writing the script for that, and it came to the point to give Dave's character a last name, I think the TV might have been showing a trailer for Oculus. I was like, okay, Sid Oculus, sure. This was one I had seen previews for, but they were really nondescript previews. Like the teaser, I don't even know if the teaser even had a scene in it that was even in the movie. I just think it was like a creepy mirror and a ghost jumping out. And then the preview I saw for it on TV just had like the light bulb scene in it, which, my God. But I think it was just like the light bulb scene. So I would say to Brian, I was like, dude, you want to go see Oculus on Thursday? I don't really know what it's about, but there's a part where girl takes a bite out of a light bulb. I guess that happens in it. So when I got here to the movie theater, I still had some time to kill even when I got here, but I was like, I should probably look and see what this thing is even about. IMDb. Oh, okay. This is what it's about. All right. Honestly, this movie was not bad. It does have its fair share of problems, but it was thoroughly kind of freaky, actually. I don't even know if surprise is the right word, because I didn't really have an opinion going into it one way or the other. I wasn't dreading it. I wasn't even really excited about it. It was just, hey, here's this movie coming out, Oculus. Okay. You know what? I mean, if you're looking for some suspense, if you're looking for some cheap scare, no, actually not even cheap scares, because there's off the top of my head, there's really only a couple of jump scares in it. It's the suspense in the movie relies heavily on mood and acting, and it's a well-made movie. The soundtrack to it it's a typical horror movie soundtrack, but it's the type of soundtrack I've heard before in a horror movie. A lot of wah, 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 wah. Like throughout most of it is honestly that. But, I'll give it this. While I've seen that before in plenty of movies, yeah, it still created quite an unsettling feeling throughout this. Thanks largely in part to the acting is really top-notch in this thing. And it is a well-made flick. The plot of the movie is that half of it takes place in present day and half of it takes place 11 years prior, so like 2003. This young guy gets out of a mental institution, and his sister is Karen Gillan from Doctor Who. She plays his sister, and it doesn't tell you right away what really happened to these two, but because of the wah, 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 something's telling you, like, they have a story that doesn't end well. And in fact, the story I'm watching might not end well. But anyway, you know that something happened to them and their family. You know that the mom and dad are dead, and it tells you that this has something to do with a mirror. It doesn't tell you right away what's going on, and at first that was kind of annoying in the first 10 minutes, because I was sitting there sort of like, I feel like I should be knowing what's going on, but I really don't, but the music is trying to tell me I should know what's going on. As it goes, it makes perfect sense why it's paced like that, but anyway, so they get a hold of this mirror that they feel or at least the girl feels has something to do with the fact that when they were kids, apparently the father went fucking crazy under the spell of this mirror and killed the mom and then tortured the mom and then tried killing them, but the son was able to save them. We really only know that much about it, and so they go to the house that they grew up in, they bring the mirror along with them, and the girl has set up cameras to videotape everything. She's trying to document everything. She's trying to explain what this mirror is, what it has done, what she thinks it's done, and how she thinks she's finally going to destroy this mirror. So half of the movie is kind of this two-character performance between the brother and sister where they're carrying about half the movie inside of this house. It's very dialogue heavy. It's delivered well. It's delivered convincing. And throughout it, we are seeing a lot of flashbacks of what led up to what we see at the beginning, which had to do with the father seemingly crazy, murdering the wife and then trying to kill the kids. But what I liked about this, and it's why I understand too why it was structured the way it was, is that the sister in the movie is dead set on this mirror is possessed. There's something wrong with this fucking thing. Anyone who has owned it, most people who have owned it, someone gets horribly tortured and murdered. They go fucking crazy. She wants to destroy this thing. The brother, not so much. The brother, at first, is very skeptical about it, but understandably so. It's a horror movie where when the brother is skeptical and they have this dialogue back and forth of what she thinks is what happened and what he thinks is what happened, and it works because for a while you are kind of siding with the brother. This is a horror movie where for a lot of it, you're wondering if the skeptic might be right. In movies like this, typically the skeptic isn't, and typically they're skeptical when they really shouldn't be. And that's another thing I'll give to this movie, is that when he stops being skeptical about things, it's at a point where he would no longer be skeptical about things. But even with that being said, I sat there and I was like, because she's saying like, no, this mirror, it killed our dog. Don't you remember when our dog died? But then he says like, no, I remember that exactly. And then he starts talking about how, no, the dog actually was sick and had to be put down. Not that the mirror killed it, but the dad took it to the vet and put it down. And so when you're watching it, you are kind of wondering, like, is this mirror actually evil? Or is Karen Gillan just fucking crazy? And even when weird shit is kind of happening, they set it up to, honestly, to where even when I was watching it, I was like, I want to know where this goes, because even when crazy shit's happening, for a lot of it, I wasn't sure if it was the mirror or if this is just a movie about crazy people. That really worked, because when she's talking about what she thinks the mirror did and her proof of why the mirror is crazy and batshit, she's delivering her lines very crazy, like a madman, like somebody you'd see talking about some fucking conspiracy theory. That's kind of how she's delivering her lines. So yeah, watching it, you're kind of like, oh, okay, like this might not be actually happening. Maybe the brothers are, maybe the direction that this is going is that she's just gonna turn out fucking crazy and try to kill her fucking brother. Maybe the mirror doesn't have much to do with it. And like they'll be talking about how, like, she'll say like, don't you remember the strange woman in the house? But then the brother remembers it as the dad was having an affair. So I like that. I did. I like that about the movie. And again, the acting was top-notch. The brother and sister have good chemistry together. When they're arguing back and forth, you feel it. It feels natural. It feels... And Katie Sackhoff plays the mom. And at first that was a little weird, seeing Katie Sackhoff playing like a suburban housewife. Because in like the more tender moments where she's like with her husband, it looks less like she's being flirty with him and more like she wants to snap his neck, because she probably could. But then, like, as it went along, it's like, okay, now I get why she was cast here, because, spoiler, she does go pretty fucking bonkers towards the end of the movie, and she's great. Like, she gets the crazy eyes going like fucking crazy. She's practically contorting and shit and running through this house like she's fucking doing the crab walk and shit. Like, she is good. She's really intense in this movie. The dude playing the husband, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But the dude who's playing the husband plays it in a way to where, through a lot of it, you're not sure if, okay, is this like a Jack Torrance situation where he is going fucking crazy, he's gonna try to kill his fucking family, or is it more a case of the wife has gone crazy and he's kind of just trying to deal with it. Stuff like that made me really curious about where the movie was going. It kept me in suspense. It kept me interested. It's got some freaky imagery in it. It's got imagery in it you've seen before, like with the ghosts walking around with their glowing eyes and stuff like that. But you know, even though it's stuff I've seen before, it worked for me here. It did. Because it was, I don't know, it was delivered well. It wasn't like a lot of jump scares. It wasn't just like they're walking through and then all of a sudden, you know, just face out of nowhere in front of the thing. No. It doesn't, and this is a style that I really like. It's a style that I like about a lot of James Wan's movies, where if there's something freaky like that, for me anyway, it's creepier when it's just fucking there, just like in the background or something, or just casually walking by like it's just fucking nothing. That's freaky to me. This movie does a lot of that. When you don't expect there to be anything going wrong in the scene, suddenly it'll pan over and there's one of those fucking things standing there. I like that. That was freaky to me. And the light bulbs, okay, when it gets to like the climax of the movie, really kind of the second half, it plays with reality a lot. You're not sure what's actually going on, or is this a hallucination? Did this really happen? Did this person really just kill that person, or did that plate really just shatter? Or it does that effectively. It does that, like, it was reminding me about how something like Elm Street did that really effectively. I mean, I wouldn't say this movie's as good as that, but I certainly feel I got my money's worth on this. It was entertaining, and it was entertaining. I wanted to see where it was going. I mean, characters in the movie, I'll say this. Characters in the movie do some stupid shit. You're not... throughout a lot of it... Well, not that's over-exaggeration, but through some of it, I was kind of like, why are these two, the older brother and sister, why are they really even in this situation? Because, dear fucking God, if I dealt with something like that when I was a kid, spending alone time in this empty house with a mirror that can alter reality and can fucking kill you and make you kill other people, I wouldn't fuck with that again. Like at fucking all. No, fuck that. The mirror is still around. Okay, well, I dealt with that shit back in 2003. That's someone else's problem now. Hopefully they can take care of it. Like, I really don't know how they were thinking that they could really destroy this thing, because this thing kind of proves that it's really indestructible. They tried destroying it when they were kids, didn't fucking work. I don't think it's gonna fucking work now. But again, I can forgive it of that in the long run, because I did think it was a little scary. I did think it was a freaky movie. So it delivered that, so I can really forgive some of that. Even that when they're filming stuff, after a while it became kind of unnecessary that they were filming stuff because the mirror's proven that it can alter what they're seeing on camera. But some of the camera stuff I kind of liked in it. I did. I thought it was filmed fairly well. I mean, yeah, some of it was used just to get all the exposition out of the way. Because she's talking to the camera and basically in the span of like 2 minutes tells us like everything we need to know about the history of this mirror. And so that... I was like, okay, well, they got the exposition out of the way. She's literally telling us all the exposition we need to know about this. She's looking right in the camera and saying it. But she's delivering it well. She's delivering it well. The music works. The camera angles work. I liked that she's kind of going around a lot, filming some things, but very rarely is it actually showing from the point of view of the camera. If really, like, even when it does, we're kind of just looking at the monitor of it. We're not really seeing it directly from the camera, so it sort of feels like the other side of a found footage movie. Like if a found footage movie didn't actually show the footage, but was just showing them filming shit. You know what I mean? Like if a found footage movie was not actually from the point of view of the camera, but they're still walking around with them and stuff. That was kind of interesting. Like this movie very easily could have been just a shitty found footage movie. And it's not. It's not. It's better than that. It's not a great movie. It's not a great movie, but I thought it was. I did think it was worth my time. Quite honestly, I did. I think if one of the other guys came along with me, they might have liked it all right. We all have similar taste in movies, so. Also, a lot of times in the movie, I was kind of wondering why when they're kids and they see that the mom is like chained up in her room, and dad's like, "You shouldn't have done that. You're grounded. You don't go anywhere." I was wondering a lot of the times why they didn't just go to the cops. Like, they go to like the neighbor's house at one point, and the neighbor shows up like, "Whoa, these kids today, huh? We're gonna have to keep an eye on them." That's right, Bob. Are we still on for that golf match tomorrow? His fingers are all bleeding. That was one part where, like, this guy at one point picks the worst possible way to pick a Band-Aid off of his finger. Like, okay, say your Band-Aid is, like, stuck on your finger. You'd probably be like, all right, scissors, let's get that fucking thing off of here. Oh, no, this guy uses, like, a staple remover and we get the... Of course the fingernail comes off. Ouch, I'm surprised this happened. And the light bulb scene was cringe-inducing. That was effective. Even though I saw it coming, because I've seen that part in the trailer. Even if you didn't see the trailer, they telegraph that's going to happen. And when she takes a bite out of the apple and is like just picking glass out of her mouth, it was like watching Die Hard for the first time. Like, oh, fuck, I'm in the theater just by myself. I wasn't the only one. Actually, the theater was pretty crowded, but I was the only one there by himself. I was like, oh, fuck, Well, I'm never eating a light bulb again. Remind me never to eat things that are sitting next to a box with stuff made of glass in it. That was effective. I was honestly... Part of me, when it switched to, like, reality and she didn't actually do that, part of me was like, oh, man. Like, I was actually kind of bummed that didn't, it happened, but it didn't really happen. I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to see that carry throughout the rest of the movie. She just got probably her tongue ripped in half throughout the rest of it. And, when it gets to the ending, which, it doesn't end surprising. Which in a way, I'm kind of like, okay, well, it didn't really try to throw some curveball twist into it. It's an ending that, honestly, you'll probably see coming. You just kind of can. In the last 15 minutes of the movie, and even some of the setup it does with this kind of anchor that they've set up to wipe out the mirror, you know something eventually is going to happen with that. And if you think about it in your head, you're like, I'll bet this is what's going to happen. And also because, and this is spoiler, this is the same exact ending, except done better. This is the same exact ending of Blair Witch 2. Even some of the things that they're doing with the footage on the camera, like alternating like what was actually footage that they got and what wasn't. Even then, I was like, it's kind of like the director watched Blair Witch 2 and was like, wow, this is a piece of shit, but it's got potential. I'm going to try to make a better movie. You know what? I can totally buy that. Blair Witch 2, it's... Even to this day, I am still like, that's one of the most miserable pieces of shit that I've ever seen in the theater. Even to this day, I'm like, that is... If I did a top 10 worst endings of all time, I'm putting that fucking turd on there. I don't want to get into my hatred of that fucking movie, but god damn it, I fucking hate Blair Witch 2. There was a time when I'd get passionate about how much I hate Blair Witch 2. Nowadays, I'm like, I just prefer to think that that movie doesn't fucking exist. Like, really? The world's a better place without Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. Let's put that movie in a fucking landfill and bury it and just wipe it from existence. One of my biggest problems with Blair Witch 2 was, again, I will totally 100% put that as one of the worst endings of all time. And I've seen a lot of shitty endings. Blair Witch 2 is one of the worst fucking endings I've ever seen in my life. Which is interesting, seeing the ending here, because it more or less does some of the same things. But I don't know. In this one, it went hand in hand with the rest of the movie, with where it was going. Maybe it's because I kind of saw it coming. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But in this particular instance, you know what? I don't even know how I can I don't even know how I can get really specific here, other than to say, in this, you know, it just didn't bother me. You ever see anything like that? You ever see something like that on a movie where something really bothers you in one movie, and then in another movie, something really kind of similar happens, and you don't mind? Maybe it's because it's just a better written movie, it's a better acted movie. It feels less in this like it's just a gotcha, like an out-of-the-blue fucking gotcha moment. And it feels more like an ending here, whereas when I saw Blair Witch 2 and that shit happened, I thought the movie was going to be going on for about another 15-20 minutes, and then they throw in this sucker punch ending that's out of, for me anyway, felt fucking out of nowhere, and honestly, I thought was really vicious and cruel to characters that you kind of grew to like, and then you throw in this. Honestly, I think that was kind of my issue with that. It was one of the cruelest endings I've seen. It's rare that I see a movie just have such contempt for characters that it shouldn't have contempt for, and just do something that just wrong and vicious with them. And in this, I didn't get that vibe from this. Maybe it was just because it was just integrated into the movie better. It felt less like a cheap shot. It felt less like it was just trying to be cruel. In this, it seemed like something that would logically fucking happen with the rules that they set up for the movie, with everything that we've seen prior, everything that we've seen foreshadowed to that point. It made sense that it would end like that, which is not anything that I got in any fucking shred from Book of Shadows. And really, it's just kind of the end. It's not like anything else is really like that movie. It's just a couple of things they do with like the camera and kind of the ending too. But other than that, no, it's not like it's just a direct like Blair Witch 2 clone, because then it probably would have been a real piece of shit. So I enjoyed it. I do recommend it. There's not that many fucking horror movies out right now. Some of the ones we've had recently have been in January, have been kind of bad. This one's alright. This one I was thoroughly entertained by it. You know, it's got its issues, sure, but it really just kind of wants to be a freaky movie. It really just kind of wants to put you through some suspense for about 90 minutes. In that regard, it did its job. In that regard, I think it is worth checking out. You know, it's the kind of movie to where if you don't like it, it's probably perfectly understandable. I'm sure you could give reasons. I'm sure you can give reasons why you don't like it, and it'd probably be hard to argue with. Other than to say, other than like, you know, if you say like I didn't like it because I didn't think it was scary. Well, I mean that's impossible to argue with because that's like arguing like several subjective things. Like I can't be like, no, you did think it was scary. No, I found it relatively scary. So if you're looking for a decent enough horror flick to go see, yeah, check it out. I'm gonna take a break, pause, and come back and actually talk about the trailers for once in a while.
All right, see you.
Well, I just noticed Jake's text. When I got here to the theater earlier, their movie got out, like, I think maybe 5 minutes after mine started. So I wasn't able to see him in the lobby. So when I got here, I had to go into the theater, which I think their movie probably had, like, maybe 45 minutes left. I went into their theater to give them the keys to the car and let them know what the camera was, too. Well, I didn't say that. The camera's always in the same spot, but I had to go in there and give him the keys. And Jake sent me a text and goes, oh, by this point, you've probably already seen their review. Jake sends me a text at 11:11, saying, okay, so Irving and I just made an hour-long review of the most boring movie of the year. Enjoy that. That was kind of the impression I got when I went in there to give him the keys, because Irving was kind of slouched down a little bit in his chair. Their theater had an audience in it, too. If their theater didn't have an audience in it, I probably would have been like, so, how is it so far? Irving is like kind of slouched in his chair, and Jake wasn't doing the bad movie slouch. He wasn't doing that. He was seated kind of upright, but he had this look on his face of like utter not give a shit. He was just kind of like that, just like almost zoned out. He was probably watching a different movie in his head. He was probably just somewhere else in his mind while this was going on. I just went in and gave them the keys and left, and they didn't turn and tell me to go fuck myself. So I take it that means it wasn't like Smurfs 2 or Walking with Dinosaurs or something. Anyway, when I got here, there was like, I was killing some time in the lobby and whatever, because I didn't really want to go into the theater just yet. And there was like this giant fucking thing that got out. Like, all of a sudden, there was what seemed like hundreds of just random teenagers. Well, all like teenage girls just pile driving out of one theater. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are they see? Like, Divergent's been out for a few weeks. Why is there this fucking crowd? And I looked at the thing on the where it says the title, and it just said, like, Championship. I'm like, what? Fuck is something with Championship in the name? Then I went out to the front to look at where they have all the titles for the movies. I didn't see anything on there, because once a movie's done showing for the day, it's no longer up on the main board when you get in there. So I looked at because I had time to kill, so I was like, I had some fucking time to kill, so I was like, all right, I looked up on my phone, like, what the fuck showed earlier? It was some cheerleader championship fucking thing that was going on, which, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go hang out on the other side of the theater, because I look like a fucking creeper standing here by himself with an overcoat, with all these 15-year-old cheerleaders walking around everywhere. So I don't know, that got a huge fucking audience, I guess. Some screen version of it. Man, there probably would have been some creepy motherfuckers in that theater. Says the guy who had to say 3 for Oogie Loves. So I went in there earlier than I usually do, and I actually saw some of the like featurettes that they have before the trailers. Something coming out called Chasing Life, a new series about a girl who gets cancer. Maybe it'll end like God's Not Dead. She'll find Jesus from a Jesus boy band of 40-year-olds. Yeah, it looked like, I don't know, it looked like if in Breaking Bad Walter White decided not to make meth, but instead wanted to remake Sex and the City. Then there was something I don't know, it was... Oh, it was like an Outbreak type show that's on TNT. That's like Contagion and shit. Like, it's like Outbreak. There's like a virus going around. And this was really annoying because, like, at the bottom of the screen, it had hashtag don't breathe. So throughout, I'm like, okay, well, the name of it's Don't Breathe, probably. And then, no, the title comes up and it's like The Last Ship. Like, well... Okay, well, I'm gonna be thinking that the title of it's Don't Breathe because that's what you've been telling me throughout this whole fucking thing. Even at the very end of it, in bigger letters than the title of the show was Don't Breathe. Like, if you wanted to call your show Don't Breathe, you should have fucking just called it Don't Breathe. It's everywhere else on the fucking trailer for this. That's like when you see a movie and then it says the name of the website and it's not the name of the movie. It's like, I don't know, if you saw the trailer for Oculus and then instead of it saying Oculus.com, it's What's Inside the Mirror.com. Surely I can't be the only one who finds that annoying, or maybe I'm just being stupid. I got, not once but twice, the same fucking Taco Bell preview for their breakfast, showing that they've discovered that there are people in the world named Ronald McDonald who aren't the clown Ronald McDonald. This is news to whoever made this commercial, I guess. So they got a bunch of people up there talking about, I'm Ronald McDonald, I'm eating Taco Bell breakfast, I'm Ronald McDonald. And not once was one of them Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's bullshit. That would have been a golden fucking opportunity to have a reference to that in there. It made me want McDonald's more than it did Taco Bell. And I didn't think the Taco Bell breakfast was that bad, really. But watch it. It would be like, I don't know, it would be like if you had a commercial for Burger King and the whole time they're just showing you Wendy's things. It kind of makes me want Wendy's more than it does Burger King. Which I like Wendy's more than I do Burger King anyway, so that's... Even when I see a regular even when I see a regular commercial for Burger King, I would rather have Wendy's. So yeah, I was like, alright, all this McDonald's talk in here, I sort of want, like, alright, I'll go get another one of those Bacon Clubhouse sandwiches again. Those were actually pretty good. Which that's a shame because they're advertising the AM Crunchwrap, which is easily the best one, other than the Cinnabon Delights, is the best one on that menu for breakfast. I recommend the AM Crunchwrap. I really do. It deserves a better commercial than this one that's really more of a commercial for McDonald's. And then it went into the trailers. We got The Quiet Ones, the Jared Harris Hammer movie. I hope it has far less jump scares in it than the lady in white, the woman in white, the one with Daniel Radcliffe. I hope it has less jump scares in it than that. The preview's not bad. I like Jared Harris. I'll be curious to see that. We got the Hercules trailer with Hercules title on fire. That might be fun. That one might be. I mean, I've seen the other fucking Hercules movie out this year. I've already seen the Asylum version, which was the Twinkules one that they put out with Scott Adkins. I've seen that one. This one looks far better than that. Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I got a lot of trailers that we probably would have gotten in front of Captain America, except they skipped the trailers on when we went to go see Captain America. Guardians of the Galaxy. Hey, look. Any trailer that uses Blue Suede's Hooked on a Feeling and mixes it in with, like, action movie soundtrack, I'm totally cool with. I do want to see that. That looks... Oh, I got a new trailer for The Purge Anarchy, which looks batshit. I'm watching this trailer, I'm like, what is that? Who are they? What... I still don't really know what that movie's about, but I am so excited for this movie. And again, for the 1000th time I've said this, I didn't even like the first one. It's crazy how much I'm looking forward to this movie, given that I did not like the first one. I'm trying to think of when there's been another time when I've really looked forward to a sequel to a movie I didn't like. But in this one, it makes sense because I still maintain that you can do some kooky fucking shit with that plot line. And the first Purge movie did none of that. Did, like, nothing interesting and just completely wasted this pretty good plot line that you could have fun with, that you could be, like, funny and do some satire and just be batshit insane with. With this plot, you could basically just make a movie version out of like Free Roam on Grand Theft Auto. Which is kind of what the second movie looks like. The second movie, just suddenly there's creepy guy with a mask. There's security camera footage of people getting run over with cars. There's like weird car chases going on, shot like 70s style. There's like, and then at the end when suddenly it turns into something from like Mulholland Drive with a weird stage show and a creepy Mary Shaw looking woman. And it's on stage, it looks like they're gonna kill, like it's, I don't know, like it's like Hostel and like, it looks better than that, but like with like Mulholland Drive or some, if David Lynch did this batshit fucking movie sequel to The Purge. I'm like so crazy looking forward to this movie, and if this movie turns out to be shit, you have no idea how disappointed I'll be, especially, even though I'll be like, well, I should have seen that coming. I didn't like the first one. This looks way better than the first one. Fuck, I'm running out of juice. I got 4 minutes to wrap this up. What other fucking thing did I get on here? Pull up my notes. Deliver Us from Evil. I support any and every Eric Bana movie. That's a weird trailer, because it kind of starts out like it's a cop movie, and then turns into like a haunted house movie. It's a good trailer. I don't know why we keep putting Olivia Munn in things. Well, alright, I know exactly why they're putting that, but anyway. So yeah, whatever. It's got Eric Bana in it. I'm cool with that. Let's Be Cops. It's, I don't know, it seems like the kind of thing I'd come up with drunk. Like, guys, I had a fucking movie, alright? I don't know. We, like, fucking get cop outfits. We get fucking cop outfits, alright? And we make this movie about these guys, they want to be cops. They get a couple fucking cop outfits for Halloween, and, like, I don't know, they go around, they get a squad car, they go around, like, I don't know, solving crimes and shit. Yeah, it's something I'd come up with drunk. Except I'd probably come up with a better title than Let's Be Cops. First of all, I've seen this movie. It was called Miami Blues with Alec Baldwin. Him and Fred Ward. Alec Baldwin's going around, he's pretending to be a cop, and he's like yelling at people and shooting them and trying to rob like jewelry stores. I remember that being a kind of a fun movie. It just made me want to watch Miami Blues. Brick Mansion, the full trailer for Brick Mansions, which is a better trailer. It's playing this like emo version of Stand By Me, which I guess that's a new thing trailers are doing now. There was the fucking Endless Love trailer that was like the emo version of Addicted to Love on the soundtrack. I mean, I'll give it this. It was a good, decent choice of music for the trailer for Brick Mansions. It's a better trailer than the other one. It's more memorable than the other trailer. But again, I'm like, okay, well, I just want to go home and watch District B13, especially how this remake is, it's, you know, it's for everyone who saw District B13 and said to themselves, man, I wish this was in English and PG-13 is a PG-13. So I don't think it's going to be quite as good as the original. That's about all I got to talk about. I've only got a couple minutes left on here. We're seeing The Raid 2 tomorrow, so I'll actually have some more of these to put up maybe Saturday. And then next week is... Oh, we'll also be seeing Rio 2, like something maybe mid next week or something. Eventually we'll see Rio 2. Damn it, I forget what's coming out next week. Well, I'll find out later. No need to put it in the comments. I'll find it out when I go home. So, I hope you enjoyed me flying solo for this one. I thought Oculus was a pretty decent movie. So, I'll see you guys later.